Another time, my mother was taking me to go get blood for cash. I don't know.
I have a job, Mom. If you could just take me down to the clinic so I could go get some blood, I'll get that $10. It's a great career path, son.
That'll pay for the gas on the way there.
It costs more in gas to get there than the money he's going to get. But it's my money. I earned it. You see? I'm a little lightheaded. Can I get a cookie? Hello and welcome to Trash TV. My name is Dwight Gillespie. I am your host. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that like, hit the subscribe, hit all that good stuff, notification, everything like that. Oh, I wanted to do this. This is for my friend Julian. Julian, if you're watching, I wanted to wear the only hat that Edwin Diaz will wear in 2023 that will actually, for a team that he'll actually get a save for. Check out the Puerto Rico hat. Lord knows he ain't going to pitch for the Mets this year. Anyway, put that away. That's my Edwin Diaz hat. We're doing a Dr. Phil today, by the way. We're going highbrow. It's a short one, too. It's like 4.5-minute clip from Dr. Phil. Thank you, Edwin Diaz. Great save for Team Puerto Rico. Anyway, without further ado, I'm a suffering Met fan, people, just so you know. It's a team I love to hate or hate to love. And I've been suffering with these. I want to start a 12-step program. My name is Dwight, and I'm a recovering Met fan. I really think the pitching looks good this year. That's a relapse. Anyway, I digress. We're going to do a Dr. Phil today, and I came across this, right? We don't do a lot of Dr. Phils, but this kid is such a scumbag. I can't believe he was Jerry Springer. And I loved him. This guy's great. This guy, you talk about clueless and oblivious. And the thing about this that really got me is that I want to see his parents. His parents are the reason he is this way. This kid didn't just get this way overnight. But let's take a look. Without any further ado, I give you Dr. Phil. Here we go.
My parents are basically undermining my life. Instead of trying to
His parents are undermining his life, and instead of trying to help, right? This is the way it starts. I love this.
help, they derail it or do stuff out of spite.
Yeah.
They're not helping me get on my feet and don't care if my life falls apart.
No, they don't care.
My parents take care.
Now look at this guy. He's not like 15. This guy is 30. I think he's 31. Yeah.
Care of the basic necessities, but they want my soul back in return.
They take care of my basic necessities, and they want my soul back in return. And for any of you kids out there wondering, there is a way to solve that problem. My parents control my life. Here's the door. Don't let it hit you in the ass. I tell you this, when you're paying your own rent, when you're buying your own food, when you're making your own way, you don't have to listen to what they say anymore. Look at this sap. For me, my parents aren't doing nothing for. They only feed me and house me, and I'm only 31.
They want to own me.
They do own you. They do own you. They pay your bills. They give you your food, the roof over your head. They own you. You are a slave to them. You have no right to tell. Yeah, we do.
Food and clothing is something that should be provided for a child.
You're not a child. When does that end?
This is a blurry
Whenever my
line.
parents loan me money, they expect to be paid interest.
Huh? Really? Really? I tell you what, pal. Go try and borrow it from a bank then. See if you can get it interest free. Oh, that's right. You can't get a loan from a bank because you don't have a fucking job.
They should let me save my money instead of constantly trying to take it.
Yeah.
Right now, I do not have a car
Look, getting into that nice X3. I don't have a car because, now you got to hear this.
because while I was locked up, my father sold my vehicle.
While I was locked up, my father sold my vehicle, probably to pay either for his lawyer or to pay the bail, right? Who knows? Let's find out.
I need a car to be able to support myself, but he won't even co-sign for a car.
He won't co-sign for a car? Well, you seem so dependable. I'm so shocked. You mean he doesn't trust that you'll pay the note and that he'll get fucked having to pay it to the bank because he knows that he has to be responsible and he has shit that the bank can actually take away from him? Oh my God, what a horrible human being.
My father is basically crippling me.
This is my bedroom.
This is my bedroom. No, it's your parents' bedroom. They let you stay there. I used to work with this kid. He lived in what's called New Howard, right? There was another guy who was talking about having a house in Old Howard Beach. This is all in Queens, right? And I'm giving this kid a ride home. He's like, well, I live in New Howard. I have a house in New Howard. I'm like, dude, you don't have a fucking house at all. You're 24 years old and you got to ask your mother for money for cigarettes. Like, you have nothing. Your father has a house in New Howard Beach. You don't have it. You have jack shit, you know? And that's where this guy's at. You got nothing.
One of the places I'm confined to.
My parents act like I'm some sort of deranged, aggressive psychopath.
You are. You are. You're not oppressive, I guess, yeah, because you look at, you are. You are oppressing these people. These people should be living in their golden years. They should be spending their money on nice vacations and shit like that. Instead, they got to take care of this jerk off. You know? And that's exactly what he is, a jerk off. Just self-absorbed. But now, and here's the thing, right? We haven't heard from the parents yet, but they need to take accountability in this. Why is he still there? We don't want him to live on the street. Why not? Why not? Look, nobody makes this guy live on the street. No, that's a choice you make. I have a friend, this came up recently. I'm trying to think of who it was. But you oh yeah, all right, yeah, I remembered who it was, and he's worried. He says, oh, I don't want to force this person to live on the street. You're not forcing them to live on the street. They're making the decisions in their life that this is the ramification of these decisions, right? There are options for people like get a job, stop doing drugs, stop smoking all the pot all the day, playing fucking video games, get out there, get some employment. And get a place to live. And until that time, either live on the streets or go to the shelter. There's shelters in every city. Oh, not this kid. He's used to driving around in BMWs, dressing nice, and living in nice houses. And mommy and daddy just don't understand me. I understand you. You're an asshole.
At home, they treat me like an unwanted guest.
You are an unwanted guest. You are an unwanted guest. How many times? We want you to leave, huh? We want you to leave. What? You're treating me like an unwanted guest. Yeah, no shit. How many times do we have to tell you? Get the fuck out. Go get a job and get the fuck out.
He just said they think that he's psychotic.
Right. Yeah. I think he's onto something here.
Gone through great lengths to try to get me out of the house.
Yeah.
One time, my mother made up a story that I was going to attack her with a hammer.
I was right here, and she was over there, and I was talking like this. Me yelling and screaming, I talk with my hands. So as I was talking, I was shaking the hammer.
Bitch!
I gotta fucking kill you. I don't know where she got that from. Get the fuck out.
The situation was insane. No, I would never attack my mom with a hammer.
Oh, no. No, I'm going to use a baseball bat. Oh, my God. Get out. Get out. Grow the fuck up. Grow up. But these people kick him out. There's another one, by the way, and I have it in the queue, where the people had to go to court. It was up in upstate New York. They had to go to court to get their 35-year-old kid out of the house. Go to court. They had to evict him.
Another time, my mother was taking me to go get blood for cash. I
have a job, Mom. If you could just take me down to the clinic so I could go get some blood, I'll get that $10. It's a great career path, son.
That'll pay for the gas on the way there.
It costs more in gas to get there than the money he's going to get. But it's my money. I earned it. You see? I'm a little lightheaded. Can I get a cookie?
Way home, we got in an argument. She was calling me a worthless piece of that she...
Well, you know.
The shoe fits.
I was just going to say, ooh, it's a size 9A. Mm-hmm.
Should have had an abortion. The only thing...
She should have gotten an abortion. Well, you know, that's a little harsh. I don't know if you caught all that. She said that you're a worthless piece of shit. I should have gotten an abortion. And, you know, well.
Some may say that was just a moment of clarity.
I was just thinking out loud. That's all.
I just had an epiphany. The world would have been better if you weren't here.
Yeah, well, he seems to hate his life enough, you know?
What I did was hit the dashboard. I was the one being assaulted, not her. My parents have cried wolf to the cops so many times that they actually feel bad for me.
The cops feel bad for him. Do they ever say anything like, we feel really bad for you. Maybe you should move out and get your own place so you don't have to deal with all this stuff. These are really negative parents you have.
All I want to be treated is like a son. I want to be treated like a member of the family, not like an outsider.
But you are an outsider. They want you out. That's outside. See how that works? Oh, you're an outsider. Yeah.
All right, Kyle, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
No, it's not. That's a lie. It's not good to meet. He is a parasite. It's never nice to meet a parasite. This guy, can you see? You see, it's out of view right now, but there's a black cloud over him. He brings it everywhere he goes. Poor guy. Oh, poor guy. Oh, God. Oh, he just can't get a break. Oh, poor guy. He's not responsible for anything. He's got horrible parents. He had horrible girlfriends. He's got a horrible life, and everybody's against him. God hates him. And for good reason. What do we say? He's a jerk off.
I've been talking to your parents before you got out here.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been talking to them about you.
Yeah.
I've been talking to them about them.
Yeah, because they're idiots too. They raised this kid to be this way. Like this wasn't like this kid was, worked his whole life and had, as a kid, he was doing his chores and he got his little allowance or whatever it was. And he had a paper route and he was in the Boy Scouts. And, they raised him to be an industrious kid. And then at 29 years old, he came home one day and said, fuck it, I'm done. I am not going to work anymore. No, this is a lifelong thing right here. This kid's been like this his entire life. He's felt entitled. He's been given things. He's never had to work for it. And now, to say, that you're getting your just rewards right here. This is what you get from the way that you raised this kid. This did not happen overnight. I refuse to believe that. This kid's been a piece of shit from day one, and they allowed it. Listen, he wasn't born a piece of shit. He was made that way. They did this. So they have some accountability. And the only way to help this kid now, really, is to get him the fuck out. You got to get out. Get him out. And that's it. Oh, I don't want him living on the street. Well, why? What do you care? If you then let him be where he is. Make a decision, because this is who this kid is right now. And the only thing that's going to stop this is some kind of nuclear blast of some sort, because he doesn't see it. And he's not going to see it until he's living in his own filth on the fucking streets and he's eating out of garbage cans. Then he'll get it. Right now, I got to put up with all this bullshit just to get some fucking free food and a roof over my head, some heat in the winter,
You're 31, right?
Yes, sir.
31.
Why are you living at home?
There you go.
It's been a
I didn't expect you to ask me that, Dr. Phil. Can I get, what's the next question? I don't like that one.
throughout my life. There's been a lot of step forwards and step backs. Taking step back.
It's called alcoholism. Yeah. I stumble forward and then I fall back.
I had a nursing license in Florida, and yes, I was put on a probationary period for that.
Through no fault of my own, mind you. So you can't. You mean those pills aren't for everybody? I thought it was just take what you need and leave the rest. Yeah.
But at the time they
one
wanted
for
to
me.
move to Tennessee. I told my parents that at the current time I had to finish out my probation, which was like 6 months to a year left on.
How old were you?
24.
24. Now, the kid, 24 years old. He had to finish out his probationary period in Florida, but his parents were moving to Tennessee. So it's their fault that he couldn't finish out his probationary period because they forced him to move to Tennessee. You were 24.
Right.
And
How is that their problem?
well, I was living with them at the time.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but they're responsible for me.
But you're an adult at 24.
Yeah. No,
You're an adult.
yeah.
What's that got to do with where
Right.
they move?
Well, if your son is asking for 6 more months to stay in the state,
Hold off everything.
Yeah. Is that what you need, honey? Oh, really? And it'll just be 6 months, right? Because you've never lied to mommy and daddy about these things before, about needing more time and more money and more resources and more this and more that. No. Let's just fucking change our whole life for you. He looks drunk now. Look at it, glassy-eyed and all that. Yeah.
to complete out of probation, then to move,
Wow.
I mean,
What would that be? And listen, and if they had done that for him, he would complain. Well, but you moved too fast because I finished the probationary period. Now, I just got into the job. So how can I save money to get my own place? And you should stay here like another year so I could put, no, this is a never-ending thing. This is a never-ending cycle. This is a person who is incapable of being accountable for themselves. And one day will find himself renting a room in somebody's house. He'll never be anything because eventually his parents will either die or will get sick of it, right? And they're not going to leave shit to him if they're smart. They've written him out of the will, and he won't be able to afford a lawyer to contest it or anything like that. And he'll be left doing nothing because he can't hold a job, he can't work at all, right? He'll be left renting a room in somebody's house somewhere and having to live under somebody else's rules still.
Wouldn't you
And
help
blaming
your son?
them. No.
Or would you uproot them and say, you don't know what you're talking about? Take them to Tennessee,
You don't
hire
have to
a
go.
lawyer, have the lawyer tell you the same thing that your son was telling you.
Well, I wouldn't hire a lawyer. I didn't get into trouble. You got into trouble.
yeah,
What'd
right.
you do to get into trouble?
The trouble was it was
Yeah, again, it's another question I don't really like there, Dr. Fell. Now, let's hear. What kind of trouble did you get into there, Junior?
multitude of things. One was
Multitude.
failure to report a charge.
A DUI?
An arrest.
And that was their fault too. That he didn't report a DUI to the licensing commission, right? And they're not going to learn about this. They're not going to check my background. No. And that's his parents' fault, right?
This thing called the Sunshine State Law, where you have to report any kind of arrest.
Right.
At that time, I told them I should report this arrest, and I was told that I didn't have to under the advisement of the lawyer that we're going through.
But he didn't give you the license.
Right.
Okay, and I was told
The nursing board gave you the license.
Right.
yes, sir, and I was told to follow his advice.
But
He didn't give you the license.
Okay, but if
The
I'm
nursing board gave you the
Yes, sir.
license, and you accepted the license with the rules and regulations associated with the license. And they said, if you have problems with the law, you have to report it because if you become an impaired professional, then we have the right to
it's a good law, by the way. It's a good law.
suspend your license.
yes, sir.
And you didn't do that. Don't care what he said.
Right.
Your deal was with the licensing board.
Yes, sir.
What's that got to do with him?
At the time, I was living with him, and with my
Yeah. So that means it's his fault. That I got arrested and I didn't report it to the license. Of course, because I was living with him.
father.
Why?
Because of the issue that happened with I wasn't able to work as a nurse.
So when you got your license suspended for misconduct, you moved in with your parents.
Yes, I did.
No, he never moved out. No. You see, I think Dr. Phil just missed that right there. He never left. He went to Tennessee with them. He lost his license. This is what really probably happened, right? He talked about this probationary period. He lied to get the license. When they found out, he blames his parents for moving to Tennessee, but he went to Tennessee with them because he lost his fucking license. It had nothing to do with it. And I moved in, and he says, yes, sir. No, you moved in, you never left. From 24, he's been living with them the whole time.
Okay, so the reason you moved in with your parents is your responsibility, not theirs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, there was a follow-up to this, right? Which we don't even need to, because this guy is absolutely clueless. Nothing is his fault. And if this is the way you're living your life, this is what you can expect. It'll come to nothing. Talk about a cycle of mediocrity. And we talk about this on this channel, on the other channel. Right here. Well, they're like, yeah. It's point. And we talk about cycle of mediocrity. Let's get back to Edwin Diaz, right? The New York Mets. Oh, God. Why do I do it? Why? It's going to be a good year. I got a feeling.
I plead the fifth.
That's right. Yeah, Scherzer won't be a bust, I promise. Verlander was a good deal. Yeah, everybody needs a 40-year-old power pitcher. Anyway, oh God, now I have a headache. I need Dr. Phil. Okay, this is what you get though, and you get what you pay for. And the parents never put anything on this kid, and this is who he is now. All right, and the only way to help this, honestly, and I know it's hard, man, is tough love. Get out. At some point you got to kick him out of the nest, and that's where you're at. And he's never going to do this on his own. Anyway, that's today's video. It's nice and short. My name is Dwight. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have another one for you real soon. Be well. Take care of yourselves. Bye.